Hello, everybody.
Hello and welcome. I'm supposed to be holding my face back. I don't know because
It's gonna be too bright. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna come bleached. Okay, but she's gonna look. She's gonna look.
I don't know how to.
Well, can't you look at the screen and see how it looks?
No, I know how she looks, but
Well,
I
so,
can put a pizza box up
but
there.
what I'm saying is, does she look bad?
Yes, I told her to.
He told me to go like this. I feel like that
Okay,
makes
but
me
that
look
is
worse.
also on bright. Why don't you have that on something like a soft tone?
Because it's not gonna. It's that way.
I know that that's a problem, but this is also a bad tone. I could tell by looking at it.
Well, I'm supposed to go like this.
Here's the thing. Okay, and you're still recording, right?
I'm
the
supposed
please
to go
record.
like this.
There we go. There, I look good now.
I feel
I'm saying,
like this
see, you
is.
look washed out.
No, I don't think I like looking washed out.
Why?
Because I do.
Yeah, can I say, okay, no, you got to fix her right too. I know what's happening to her, but that light should also be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Automatically you bring, like, oh my God, what a difference.
He looks so much like Charlie Brown.
Who?
Noah.
He does not look like Charlie Brown.
He does. Stand up. Stand up.
He does not look like
Now,
Charlie. So
look at
weird.
the shorts, the sneakers. Did you ever see when they do a play on Charlie Brown? That's the getup they always wear.
Yes, but Charlie Brown is shorter,
How
dumber.
do we know? How do we know Charlie Brown's shorter?
Because it's a cartoon. You can see the size of him.
No.
Charlie Brown is always shorter than Lucy. He's always shorter than Peppermint Patty. Charlie Brown is short.
Lucy is his girlfriend, Lauren. Lucy is Lauren.
I don't know.
I like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could say this.
Taking the football away from her.
I personally think that you calling Noah Charlie Brown is insultish.
I don't think so.
I think it's insultish.
I don't think so.
think
Let me
it
look.
is.
I'm looking up Charlie Brown.
Somebody's got to be youthful on this podcast. I mean,
Yes, I think Noah looks like Charlie Brown.
I think so.
Oh,
Who's that?
look who rolled in.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's not even a podcast. The light's wrong. Peter's late. September 5th is today, and our kids started school today. Our little Cassie started 5th grade today.
You know what I was thinking about? So today is our last day. For me, for you, it was much earlier. But today was my last elementary first day of school.
How was it later for me?
No. You started earlier, I said. So mine started in 2005.
Right.
We took a 3-year break of elementary school.
Right.
That was it. 3 years. That's all we took off from elementary
Wait, is
school.
that right?
Yeah, because I had Cassie, and then Tabby finished out elementary school, and then Cassie was back in elementary school.
So Cassie and Tabby never went to village together.
No, they're 9 years apart.
They're 9 years apart. Right.
Mhm.
That makes sense. And
Mhm.
so,
I took 3 years off.
what kind of break did I get?
We took that 3-year break.
I took but I got a longer break than that.
Earlier, you
Yeah.
had another break. However, but since 2005, I've been circling around that elementary school.
Yeah, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
we've been involved in elementary education. Next year, we're like, who cares?
I know.
Do what you
Who
want.
cares what happens?
That's every parent.
That
that's
is.
every American.
That is.
You know, I care about windmills. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why do you care about?
We just watched the video last night, Noah, that you put the clip of Vinnie on his phone, the whole clip. And Cassie and I
can't help
were
it.
howling because
Well-
that is him. And on the ride here, so help me God, on the ride here,
Oh, I couldn't
my
take the
mom's
conversation.
talking to him. He's not even listening. He's got a video playing in his ears.
No, I couldn't take the conversation. We're going to get this later. Let's save this because we're going to talk about it. But let me just go back to what people do. So all the people that care about windmills are people that go to the beaches or have homes on the beaches. And
Right.
in Iowa is like, who cares about a windmill? Build them. I
Right.
don't care. So that's what, now in elementary education, we're on our last hurrah of caring. Now
Yes.
today, crossing with Debbie, who's been there
It's since we've been going.
she's been there a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a crossing guard. And I said, hey, you won't see us now for 5 years. And she didn't get the joke.
No, she did not get the joke. But we won't be circling back in 5 years.
We will not. No. Unless, of course, one of our children has a baby and we have to end up them living at our house because whatever reason. And you know, I've always said that I want the kids to live in a compound with us.
Yes, you do. You do.
Right. I do. I want a compound. But anyway, it's the last day of elementary. Cassie rocked it. I told Cassie, you're a 5th grader now.
Mhm.
That school's yours. Some kindergartners get in the way. You push them down.
You did. It was great first day advice. I loved it.
You got to own your stuff.
Yeah. Own it. You
Okay,
own
next
it.
year you're going to be a 6th grader. You're going to get bullied. This is your chance
Mhm.
to bully.
To bully others, but we can't call it bullying. That's a buzzword.
Ugh.
You can't, because if you use the word bully at all in school, it's a problem. You cannot use the word bully.
Wait. Bullies have rights?
No, if you say the word bully, if you
Right.
say the word bully at all, a full-on investigation happens.
Oh.
So what happens is if there's an issue before kids, they'll say, do you think that it's just a teasing problem or is it a bullying problem? And
When
we don't
you're-
want to say bully because then it opens up. The moment a parent says it's bullying, it opens up a huge investigation.
I'm so glad you told me that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad because I swear to God, I will yank the bully card in a second. I will yank that card and get my kid protected. If someone teases my kid, that's bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if she teases someone else, that's teasing. But if she
Right,
gets bullied,
right.
but our
Well, Cassie has wonderful friends.
kid, and
She has
yeah,
wonderful
great
friends.
But I also don't think Cassie's not the kind of kid that would bully. None of our kids were bullies.
Mm-mm.
All right,
Mm-mm.
you look at Noah and Peter, you know which one was a bully, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely not Charlie Brown.
exactly, definitely not. So
Peter Parker over there.
Peter Parker, definitely. So I would say that this being the very first day
Mm-hmm.
of school,
Mm-hmm.
it's sad to me, right? Because summer's over-ish,
Yeah.
right? And, you think about it and you're like, well, summer's over. And then what do I see? What pops up in my schools are being closed because of extreme heat. It's 92 degrees.
Yeah.
That's not extreme heat.
No.
Now, there might be a building without air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe they'd be uncomfortable.
Right.
So maybe there's a school somewhere who needs to be closed. But
Growing up, did they ever close your schools for extreme heat?
who?
Growing up, were your schools ever closed for
No.
extreme heat?
No.
And did you have air conditioning in your schools?
No.
No, neither did we. So what did they do to temper the temper?
We just allowed brawls.
Mm-mm,
A good
mm-mm.
brawl.
No.
Let all the anger out of the room.
The windows would open this far
Yes.
and they would just turn off the lights. That was their
Yes.
that was their way
Yes.
to cool you down. We're just gonna turn off the lights,
That's
everybody.
so funny.
And only the main office had air conditioning. So if you were lucky enough to have to pass through the air conditioning office, you were
That's true.
yeah.
The principal always had air conditioning.
Yep.
But back then they were incandescent bulbs, which did give off heat. But you're right, that's all they did.
Yeah, we're gonna cool you guys down.
And anybody need a pair of mittens? These lights have been turned off. So you can't help it. But when you talk about what we did versus what they did.
Yeah.
All right, now I told Cassie last night when we were in school
Mm-hmm.
in 5th grade, recess was completely unstructured.
Right,
They opened the doors and you just went out.
right,
And during recess at St. Agnes School,
right.
we played a game called Kill the Guy with the Ball.
Mm.
So we had a ball. We had one ball. And literally, you could just be standing there and someone would go, here, Vinnie, and they hand you the ball. And then everyone would just start tackling you and beating you. And for some reason, some other moron would try and get the ball. And then you would go kill him. And
Isn't that funny? They wanted to be the one chased and killed.
Always. Because if you could not be tackled or killed,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the longer you could stay on your feet,
Right.
the longer you could push people off. And I'm telling you, I remember in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, coming in from recess, we all had uniforms. Uniforms ripped, blood. We also played a game at St. Agnes Elementary School where we would take a can and smash it down flat, and we played kick the can.
That seems like a tetanus shot wanting to happen.
Vicki, I
Mhm.
was a goalie. I will never forget. I was a goalie because I was very good at stopping the can.
Right.
I was constantly getting cut and kicked in the face. And the only reason I was a goalie, by the way, I could stop the can. And no one trusted me to be able to actually score a
Mhm.
goal on the other team's goalie. But I tell Kat that. She's like, Dad, you played a game called Kill the Guy at the Ball at a Catholic school? Yeah, that's what it was like.
Well, it's funny because from her perspective, 2 years ago, they were banned from the Gaga pit
Yes.
because a boy acted up.
Yes.
There was no fighting, no nothing. Just he didn't follow the rules, so the whole class got banned.
Yes.
He can't follow the rules, everybody's banned.
But that's the problem we have, right?
Yeah.
So down in Ocean City, did we talk about this yet? In Ocean City, how, okay, a bunch of kids went on the beach at night.
Yeah.
Now, I love the Ocean City beaches at night. I love them. So a bunch of hooligans went on the beach one night.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I know where you're going with this.
Okay, a bunch of hooligans went on the beach, and they acted up. They had backpacks, they were drinking, and they fighting, and they did damage. Now, instead of taking care of the hooligans, the whole beach is closed. So all the good people, me, not with you, not Peter, but all the good people are not allowed to use the beach at night. And what they should have done.
Oh, here. And what was your punishment? What is your, he was telling us all about this notion. What punishment do you think everyone should have?
Not punishment. It's a meting out of instant justice. What you needed to do was you need to turn the cops loose on the beach with some, I don't care if you don't make them oak anymore. You can make a softer stick. You need to give people a good ass kicking, because here's what would happen. Let's say you crack a couple skulls, a couple kids lose teeth, whatever, they don't go to the prom. Okay, now that would happen 3 times. And then you know what would happen? People go, hey man, you go on the beach, don't mess around, I'll crack you right in the skull. That's why in Singapore, no one spits on the sidewalk, because the cops can cane you instantly. You spit, it's controlled. It's 12 whacks on the ass with a hardwood stick.
So what if somebody makes a mistake one time, you still get it?
I think if you're hanging out with people that are wilding and you get your ass kicked, it was only a matter of time before you wilded. Listen, if you were in, you go to the stadium, you're trying to watch the game, okay? And a 400-pound Mary with mustard on her face decides to get in a fight with a guy because she likes the Kansas City Chiefs and he likes the Oakland Raiders. And they start fighting. What's the first thing you do if you're sitting next to Mary?
I move far away.
You move far away. You move far away so you don't get mustard on your shit and you don't get thrown out of the goddamn stadium. Because the yellow shirts are coming down. Years ago, I was at Giant Stadium. I was so happy with this. The Giants were losing bad to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles were kicking the Giants. It was such a bad game that you wouldn't, like, if you were a Giants fan, you would just say, well, the game's over. Let's just enjoy the day. Let's just watch. But no, there's a bunch of guys, about 10 of them, and there's a guy with his 2 kids, Philadelphia fan, and this drunk moron is up in the guy's face going, you're an effing faggot, you're this faggot, screaming at the guy. And then yelling at the daughter, your father's saying the F word again. Your father's no good. Now, someone yells, sit down. And then, yeah, that's you, blah, blah. And it all breaks out. Now, I'm sitting there doing a slow burn. Now, I'm not going to fight 10 guys in the stadium. So I go up, I calmly get one of the yellow shirts. I say, listen, a bunch of guys down there, they're acting out. There's going to be a problem. You got to get down there and take care of it. Now, they come down, a sea of yellow shirts. These guys are like 7 rows in front of me. They had great seats. A sea of yellow shirts come down. And now the guys are sitting there like this. Rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. Let's go, Giants. They're not going to act like assholes because the yellow shirts are there. And no one says a word. And they go, well, where's the problem? So I stood up and I said, it's that guy and all those guys. And now everyone else is like, they feel emboldened. They're like, yeah, it's them. And they threw them out. And the father said, thank you very much. And you know what else the father said?
What?
Enjoy the seats, Vinnie. Because I moved up 7 rows instantly. I moved into those seats. I had better seats. But that's the point. The rest of that section said, you can't act up because Vinnie will tell on you and the yellow shirts will throw you out.
Right. So to circle that back to Ocean City.
Whack them on the ass.
Whack them on the ass.
Why would you close the beach forever? Why should everybody not be allowed to enjoy the beach at night? Why in our society are we allowing constantly people are not allowed to enjoy something that a small select group of people ruined? For example, San Francisco. Shit show. Why? We allowed the shitheads to ruin San Francisco. So a whole city's ruined. Now, you give me control. Give me San Francisco. Give me San Francisco and some good, dedicated policing, and I will beat the shit out of everybody screwing up San Francisco.
So you don't think that I love your style, by the way.
Thank you.
Being sarcastic. And so you don't think any tact is necessary because you are a man who speaks his mind, which we've talked extensively about this, how if I go like this, you'll say, "Don't touch me, Vicki. I'm going to say what I'm going to say."
Why should a whole conversation occur that I know is not right? Why shouldn't I straighten
But
it out?
you don't think that there's a way to do something that
I just
cannot
said the way.
Okay. All right.
I
All right.
just said the exact way.
Okay.
I said the way.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
All right, let's ask a question.
Mhm.
Your kid goes to the beach with
Mhm.
lighter fluid and spray paint.
Mm-hmm.
Comes home with a full can of lighter fluid and a full can of spray paint and 6 welts on his or her ass.
Mm-hmm.
You mad?
Well, why were they going with a lighter fluid and a?
That's my point.
Why? I hope I did a better job that my kid knows not to do that.
But if your kid goes to do that, and okay, let's just say your kid comes home with a welt on your ass, on his
Mhm.
ass, and you say, "What happened?" And he goes, "Well, I was just on the beach. I was going to do some vandalism,
Mm-hmm.
and Officer McCurdy smacked me in the ass with his baton, Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go call Officer McCurdy, boss?"
Mm.
What would you say?
Well, if my kid was going to be doing something like that, I'd probably have to agree. But I also don't believe in corporal punishment. So I think that,
See, someone else said to me, "No, you got to arrest them and put them through the system," and that's all bullshit too.
no, I know. So
Because
growing
rich
up,
people will go hire a lawyer.
yes, you did have
Oh,
said that.
my son's a straight A student
Yeah.
at St. Ignatius Catholic School.
Yeah.
He could never do this awful shit. Yeah, your kid did it. But now, because I can hire a better lawyer who's connected to a better
Yeah,
judge.
no, I know. And growing up, that's how everyone was raised.
Well, let me ask you something. Now,
Everyone was
I know
raised that
several
way.
people have been to Singapore, and they say it's clean as a whistle. My
Mhm.
cousin Drew goes to Japan. They don't even lock the doors at night.
Right,
We're in
that's nice.
Africa, little kids on the sidewalk. Why? What did they say they would do?
There's no kidnappings.
Why?
Because everybody knows who everybody else is. And so, and the conversation came up because we were driving down the one paved highway and a little boy was just waving at all the cars and his house was very far away. And I said, "Oh my God, isn't that so dangerous?" He was about 3 years old. And the driver looked at me like I had 4 heads. He said, "What? Why?" And I go, "Well, the little boy's on the side of the road." And he goes, "Everybody knows everybody else's kids here." And I said, "There's no kidnappings here?" And he was like, "No, there's no kidnappings here."
Would they say would happen if someone stole from one of those tables?
If someone stole from somebody, it would be he'd be publicly admonished.
And how would they admonish him again?
I think they would get what they call a stitch.
And what would they do?
They would smack him.
And they would all smack him, right?
I think that it'd be a public thing.
A public smacking. And then what did he say? And they would be too embarrassed to do it again.
Yes, they would be too embarrassed. Yes.
See, listen, do I mean what I say? Yes and no. Okay, if a kid is violently doing something,
Mm-hmm.
we put all the focus, and obviously, okay, before you all get your underwear in a knot, obviously, there's a cop or two that stepped over the line and let's reform them, and I'm all about that.
Right.
But why is the entire beach closed?
Mm-hmm.
How far down the line do we have to give up what we've worked for
Mm-hmm.
in the name of people's rights?
Mhm.
So I have the right in San Francisco right now. Like I said, I'm gonna do all my Christmas shopping in San Francisco. Everybody gets a gift up to $1,000. I'm gonna spend 7 days there. I'm doing 7 days of shopping. Each day, $1,000 limit, and I won't go to jail. That's idiotic.
Yes, it is.
That's idiotic. Now, just the other day in a Home Depot or a Lowe's, they're taking power tools like mad, well over the threshold.
Right.
But you see, now people of that ilk are emboldened to take what they want.
Right.
Okay, because what's a cop supposed to do? Hang on, son. I'm not going to arrest you. Just scan everything, and you're not going to get in trouble. Just keep your scan under 1,000. It's like a game show, for Christ's sake. For Christ, the shoplifting is right. You have to try and
Right.
shoplift exactly under $1,000. Why? Don't you think that that's wrong?
No, I definitely think that's wrong. I
Don't you
definitely
think
think
every
it's wrong.
prosecutor that supports all this crap should? You know what I always hope? I always hope
Mhm.
that the prosecutors that support these things, I hope their homes get robbed for $999 worth of stuff.
Mhm.
And I hope they rob them 7 days in a row, 8 days in a row, 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row, to where finally the guy goes, "Isn't someone going to do something?"
Mhm.
That's what I hope.
Right.
And I mean that.
I know you do.
I
I
mean
know
that.
you do.
I would like those prosecutors, they should rob their homes every day. Aren't you a little frustrated?
With what? The country?
Well, the fact that the beaches in Ocean City are closed at night.
Didn't bother me one iota.
Oh my God.
It didn't. I didn't because I said to myself, you know what? On a whole, it makes everything nicer because now people aren't going to gravitate to come here to do bad things. And the boardwalk was lovely.
But what about the people like me that want to go out and just disturb some nesting turtles? What about me? Give me a little flick along.
Right.
I'm so frustrated with the whole thing.
Right.
And by the way, there's no easy way to say this. You're just wrong.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Here's
There
why.
it is. There it is.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Uh-huh.
Because you're not a night person. You don't go to the beach at night. You're the same as the guy who owns the property on the beach, doesn't want to see a windmill. So he doesn't care if oil burns, okay? Because I want to see my view. See, you have to have a broader appreciation.
Oh, here I am. This is why I'm wrong. Okay.
Well,
I like
it's
it.
just that, listen, to me,
Mm-hmm.
all the things it's like the Target that time in Middletown.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage everywhere in the Target.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
But sometimes I say to you, why do you always have to be the world police?
Because no one else is doing it.
Oh.
No, okay, I'm Batman. Okay, I see a problem. Listen, you saw my video you didn't even see my video.
For the
Did you see it,
soccer
Noah?
for the soccer field?
Yeah.
I saw it.
Okay. And
I saw it.
you don't think that
And you know what Cassie said? Mom, don't you think it's a little extreme that he's calling all those parents failures?
they're failures.
Yeah,
They're failures.
that's what our 11-year-old said.
Failures.
Isn't that harsh, Mom? Isn't that a little harsh of Dad to say that? That's what she said.
They are. If you raised a kid that would make that kind of mess and walk away from
But
it.
sometimes
bam.
the children aren't paying attention. I feel like the adult
Oh.
that was there should have said something.
That was malicious littering.
I don't think it was
That
malicious.
was malicious.
I don't think it was malicious.
That was intentional, malicious littering.
No.
Who
So-
cleaned it up?
You did.
I did.
I know.
You know why?
Because you're Superman.
No. Because my father and my mother,
Right.
if I walked by that, would have said, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
This is your field."
Right.
See, I think we should hide cameras.
Mhm.
And we catch those kids doing that. We should send McCurdy over to the house
Mm.
with a stick.
Such an idiot.
Did you
Yeah.
see the video, Noah? Did you see it, Peter?
Yes.
Okay, what'd you think of the video?
It was really hilarious how much garbage was on that field.
How what?
He said it was hilarious how much garbage was on that field.
I was stunning. I would never have
Yeah.
left it like that.
That's a $5 million brand new field.
Yeah.
Even when I was playing like youth soccer 10 years ago, we would never have left it like that. And that was on like these muddy, disgusting fields in the back of a thing, not in a beautiful facility like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a soccer team or not, but I have seen coaches.
Yeah, it's a multis.
I've seen coaches in Middletown.
Mm-hmm.
In Middletown, my beloved Middletown, I've seen coaches leave the football field. Their players leave crap everywhere.
Yeah.
Bad coaching. And if you're a Middletown coach, I love you. You tell the kid to police the field. When I went down there and used those fields,
Mm-hmm.
and I had permits, I would tell every one of my kids, don't you dare leave a mess on this field.
Yeah.
Don't you dare leave a mess. Because that's part of raising people up.
No, I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
And I'll tell you what I used to do. Someone will leave stuff. I
You
would
cane them. Get that cane right out. So Peter sent us some topics that I actually want to talk about because one of them is about Van Cortlandt Park, where our daughters ran for years.
What's going on at Van Cortlandt Park?
So they want to build. It's temporary, correct, Peter?
Yeah, so they're trying to build a temporary cricket stadium to host the World Cricket Championship, like the Cricket World Cup. It's going to be a 34,000 seat venue in Van Cortlandt Park in the Bronx. But the community around Van Cortlandt was not really given any notice. The official responsible just sort of voted on it, approved it. It's starting construction basically immediately. And everyone is irritated because it's going to be taking up a lot of this green space that's been dedicated for recreation up until now.
I can solve the problem in one sentence.
What?
It's so easy. All you have to do, get a bunch of kids to go to Van Cortlandt Park at night, go wild, then let the Ocean City power to be come and close Van Cortlandt Park. You got to close the goddamn park. Okay, so this, now what's your initial reaction?
My initial reaction is that anybody in the vicinity is the reason why I wanted to bring this up, not only just about Van Cortlandt Park, but what you were saying about earlier about elementary school. As soon as we were done with elementary school, we no longer cared what happened to elementary school. So those people that live right there, nobody wants any change.
Right, no one wants
No one wants change. Now, I don't know how they're going to build it because there are big races that are built that take place at Van Cortlandt Park. And if you're not going to affect the other sports that already happen there, that is a big thing, right? Like something else can't be more important than the things that already take place there.
Now, how are they building a 34,000 seat temporary stadium? How are they doing that?
I don't know.
Is it
Peter?
Bleachers?
Yeah, it seems like it's mostly like a canvas arena, like one of the kind of similar to the tent, where it's like this like bleacher structure with a canvas surrounding it that they're gonna be able to like speed put up and speed take down within. But I think it's gonna be already up and down by next July, they said.
So how long is the cricket tournament?
The cricket tournament lasts, I think, through the winter.
So here's the thing.
Because the cricket matches could take like 3 days. Cricket matches are very bizarre. They're not like afternoon games. They take days to play. Like everyone has to go home and come back.
Who would want to do that?
I think both of you are being racist right now. Okay.
What?
That's what they do. Because it's what they do. And
How
you've
is that
triggered me.
racist?
I would never, I won't go to a baseball game until they sped the clock up. I won't go to football games. I don't do any of it. I didn't know cricket lasts 3 days. Is that right, Peter?
Yeah, it could be. There are some matches that have taken up to like a week or two, like the all-time championship things. This is from my very limited knowledge of cricket, but yeah, it could be a very long time that they play these matches.
Who knew?
So here's what I'll tell you. Now,
There's some
initially,
serious
my
time
initial
to do that.
response, my initial response was, sounds maybe potentially racist, right? But it's New York City, so there's plenty of everything in New York City. So I think it's more what you said. People are going, I don't want this in my backyard.
I don't want it in my backyard. Yeah.
But it's not racist.
It's not racist. How would it be racist?
Because cricket's an Indian sport.
Oh, no.
It's a British sport, right?
British, but like India and Sri Lanka are like the places that's
Yeah, they took it over.
Yeah.
Right. But
last I checked, there's a couple Indians in the world.
No. So, but I don't think it's racist at all. I think it's just
Not my backyard.
not my backyard. Not my backyard. I don't want it here. It's going to make a mess. It's going to cause parking. I mean, if you live in that area already, you know what the parking's like. Parking is tough.
I hear everything you're saying, and I think you're right. But Van Cortlandt Park seems uniquely well situated for this.
It's right off those major roadways.
No, I just meant not by our house.
Yeah. Makes it even better.
But Van Cortlandt Park is by major roads.
It is by major roads.
I don't think there's a lot of homes by Van Cortlandt, are there?
Right across the street there were. Like
Was
where we parked, that was all housing. Where we parked every year.
I feel bad because many times I relieve myself in the bushes. I didn't
Well, there
know
you go.
there are people living right there. So I say, listen, if you live by a park, it's a public park.
It's a tough one. That is a tough one because you live by a public park, and if the powers to be want to put something in it, I mean, that's really what you have to.
Well, that's what it's for.
Right, it is. That's what it is.
I mean, how do you differentiate that between the cross-country meets just because it's one day? And there's no structures?
Well, also the cross-country meets, you're not drawing 34,000 people for the cross-country meets. So you're not drawing that kind of crowds. Like, even though you probably a couple thousand for the cross-country meets. Those were big cross-country meets. And they are, like, some of those meets are big meets.
But it's one 8-hour day.
But it's 1 8-hour day. And cross-country on a whole is not, you don't draw the crowds like you would, like 34,000 people for a cricket.
Okay, so I'm going to fall down on the side of I'm pro cricket stadium, and here's why.
Okay.
Because on balance, the following issues are true for me. And let's all take note of how quickly I digested the information and have made a ruling.
Okay, I like it. Judge Vinnie. Yeah.
On whole, you live by a park. Public parks are for public events. Number one. You don't want public events, you shouldn't have bought a home by a park. It's like us. We have the train by us. Trains make noise. We don't get to say at night, oh, that whistle.
Right
now. Which, by the way, I like the whistle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just need to pause this podcast really quickly. Cassie's texting me from school. I gotta
Okay.
make sure she's okay.
The rest of my ruling, to follow after these words from our sponsor. Ginger whiskey, misunderstood ginger whiskey, is the best whiskey you get your hands on. Here comes fall when a nice hot toddy or some other drink that you would make with misunderstood ginger whiskey comes along. Also, by the way, when you're out at the cricket match and it's very, very sunny, what do? I wear my Roka sunglasses. That's what I do. And I'll tell you what right now, these are incredible. The Roka sunglass does not fall off your head like a normal sunglass. You can do anything in this. I argue with Vicki in my Roka sunglasses. And no matter how many punches she throws, I duck and swing. I never lose my glasses. And last but not least, who's our third sponsor? I always talk about him. Misunderstood, Roka. That's it.
Mudwater.
Athletic Greens.
Yeah, there you go.
And Mudwater.
Yeah, okay. So,
Mudwater is the only product that Rogan does not pitch that I also pitch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so anyway, back to my ruling. So you could buy a public park.
Right.
That's what public parks are for.
Right.
In addition to all that, the revenue generated for the city of New York
They need it right now.
will be significant, and the revenue generated for local restaurants and local
Well, that's
hotels,
what I thought too. Yeah.
right?
I thought
So at the end of the day, public spaces are for public use.
yeah.
And by the way, cricket. Now, I'm glad Peter told me about the length of the match.
Wait a minute. Is cricket polo's the one on the horses?
Cricket looks like baseball and bowling combined.
Like
Yeah.
they got the little thing?
Yeah, they have these like weird triangular bats, and there are guys who are trying to pitch the ball in a way that knocks over 9 pins.
Okay.
Basically, imagine if there is a game of baseball being played at the end of a bowling alley.
Gotcha.
So they're trying to knock over the pins, and a guy that has the bat is trying to hit it opposite that.
Right.
And then they run around bases, and you can just keep running.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing. Up until Peter both told me the length of a cricket match
Mm-hmm.
and the basic premise,
Mm-hmm.
I had previously thought I would like to learn something about cricket. I really had thought that.
I did too when I first read the article, but now definitely not.
No,
No.
zero
Mm-mm.
interest.
Lost my interest,
No
definitely.
interest. And you know
I don't
what?
even like watching a full movie
Yeah.
because it's too long.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
I'm like, ugh.
Cricket's
Too
off
big
my
of a
thing.
commitment.
I did like the polo match we saw.
When did we see a polo
We saw on
match?
TV. We watched the polo.
Oh, on TV. I wasn't even paying attention.
I would like to see polo live. So cricket, yes, but not for me.
Yeah, not for us.
All right.
Not for us. So, and then lastly, Peter sent us was about Burning Man. You heard about Burning Man, right?
I did hear about Burning Man.
Right, where the weather, I don't know if the weather changed. Were they not expecting it?
It was supposed to be 80 degrees and sunny.
Okay.
And then there were torrential downpours, and everyone's in the middle of, it was, I think, Black Rock Desert in Nevada.
Right.
And it completely closed down all their roads in and out. It made it so they couldn't burn the man in effigy. And it destroyed the entire festival and marooned everybody in the middle of the desert since
So
Friday.
did anybody lose their life?
One person. How did the one person lose their life
I'm
though?
not sure. I'll find that out.
I looked for it and I couldn't find it. How the one person passed
It was
away.
probably a stampede
They told everyone
or
to
stuck in a car.
They told everyone to shelter in place.
Shelter in place.
And then I know Chris Rock walked miles to get out, and so
Chris Rock was a Burning Man?
Mm-hmm.
Was he performing or just there?
I think it was just there, and
'Cause
so
it's an artsy festival.
it's an artsy festival, and like I think there's this DJ Dua Lupa, whatever,
Dua Lipa.
Diplo?
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Dipla.
Vicki couldn't stand any whiter at that moment. There was some rapper. I think he
That was
rhymed
a
with his
DJ,
words.
a
Oh.
DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
but they had
so-
to walk.
obviously, okay, it's a tragedy, but what are we going to say about it? We weren't there.
No, we weren't there, but Peter thought it would be
didn't we
interesting.
all learn from Woodstock that this could happen? I mean,
I would think so.
yeah, I mean,
I would think so.
I would like. First of all, I don't know why. I think it's because I have issues.
Hmm.
Burning Man never would appeal to me ever.
Back in my heyday, it would have appealed to me
Yeah,
because what we would do. So I'm from Hackettstown, and by me is Waterloo Village, and so we went to tons of concerts at Waterloo Village. But what we would do during the summer is I would take a half day off from work the day of the concert and a full day off the next day from work. And we would go and we would tailgate and we would go to these concerts, and we would just settle in.
And leave a mess. You left a mess.
Probably.
Don't tell me you didn't leave a mess.
Probably.
I've been to concerts. People like you leave messes.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I would, Giants Stadium, same thing. Every Giants fan coming out of the stadium, just get one whack on the ass. Clean up your mess. That
But-
parking lot's a disaster.
But I mean, back then it was way different though too, because I used to have a pickup truck, and I could also put everybody in the back of my pickup truck and just drive through town and drop people off.
Yeah.
I mean, things have changed since then.
But okay, so now
Actually, in my mom's town, they still do that.
I'm happy that you grew up into the person you are,
Well, thank you.
because you don't leave a mess.
No,
You never leave a mess,
Mm-mm.
and I think
I
you
return
know.
my shopping cart.
I think you know that would result in a very bad ass kicking.
Mm-hmm.
But with Burning Man, it's not music, or is it music too?
It's music. It's a music festival. Yeah, it's a music
I
festival.
thought it was an art festival.
No.
Oh,
It's a bunch of hippies in the dirt.
was Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen there?
I don't think this year. I'll check.
Bruce
Was Paul
Springsteen-
McCartney there?
Bruce
No,
Springsteen
okay, I
was
see what
busy
you're saying.
touring.
McCartney was there?
No.
No Paul McCartney, no Bruce Springsteen?
No,
Well, then it wasn't a music festival.
Yeah.
It just wasn't music. Whatever it wasn't music. All right. So I think it's tragic. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I know that they said the mud was like walking in with cinder blocks on your
Do
feet.
you imagine how dirty they were? So gross.
I saw pictures of Woodstock. It was pretty gross.
They were very clean before the mud.
Right.
You know what's
that's true.
interesting
Mhm.
is that Woodstock happened during the bra
Bra
burning
burning. Mm-hmm.
revolution. And that's a current trend. And now we have another festival washed out. I think God wants women to wear bras. Pretty sure that's what's going on. Can we talk a little bit about well, I don't want to talk about the parking issue here. No.
Peter.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Yeah, I saw that.
No, stop.
I saw.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, okay, Peter.
Yeah, I know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking either.
We
but
have to
he's
talk a
thinking
little bit
right
about
over that.
how great the new menu is at the restaurant.
Yes,
How amazing! Like we had our own party here yesterday.
we did. We had our own family party here.
And so he cooked the food. It's the same food off the menu. I don't know if it happened to you, but I'm eating the food as a party goer.
Yeah.
And I said, man, this is incredibly good
Yes,
food.
it was really good.
Like really good food. And everyone loved it.
Everyone loved it.
Your Uncle Ken looks like a Civil War reenactor.
He's like 90, Vinny.
Huh?
He's 90.
He packed away so he ate us out of house and home. Does the man not have food at his house?
I'm guessing not. No.
He ate so much food, but it's good to see him. He was happy.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
then
get a
he
chance to
stole-
really talk to him.
He stole Victoria's glass.
Oh, did he? That makes
He
me
asked
happy.
for it.
Yeah, it
Yes.
makes me happy.
But I'd like to send them some stuff because
Yeah.
it makes me feel very good that when our family members want something to commemorate their
Well, they
status.
all wanted T-shirts, so all the kids took T-shirts,
Oh,
but we
Christ
didn't.
almighty, that's costing us a lot of money.
They all wanted T-shirts. Yeah,
It was such a good event. And Bosco,
he did
I'm
an
telling
amazing
you.
job. Chef
So-
Bosco was amazing.
I had the salmon
Hmm.
and I gave a bite of salmon to everyone. And then they ate my entire meal.
Well, I know because then you then didn't have any food, so then you were dipping into my food.
It all rolls downhill.
Yeah, it does. It rolls downhill.
You had the chicken parm, which is
Oh,
great.
it was so good. That's
So
like
good.
my new favorite dish.
Really, the chicken parm.
I love their chicken
Have
parm.
you tasted the salmon?
I love the salmon.
Salmon off.
I
And
love the salmon.
Alec, who's dating our daughter.
Yes.
Family meal.
Yeah.
We're obviously paying, and Alec orders a steak.
He
which is a
asked
low-life-
me.
It doesn't matter.
Shut
it's a low life
up.
moment.
It is not.
It's a
Stop
low
it.
life moment.
Stop it. He
Right or wrong?
he asked
You
me.
ever once reach for the check?
Actually, he buys our checks a lot.
Is that true?
He does.
Okay.
He does.
That's-
He does. He pays for us quite often. Yeah.
But in his defense,
Yeah.
he did bus, and
He took the orders. He did everything. He was running around and working. And he felt bad, though, because he wanted it. And he said, Vicky's not on the lunch menu. It's only on the dinner menu. And I said, Alec, get whatever you want. I don't care.
Now so come to the restaurant.
Yes.
It's so good. Now we're gonna go off script for a second.
Hold on. I just have to applaud. I really feel it's necessary to applaud Derek.
Who?
Applaud Derek for last night's
Yeah.
heroics.
So
So-
is that a story you want to tell? I don't know.
Yes. Last night, a woman ate too fast, which can happen. She was
That's a
overzealous.
sign of good food.
That is a good sign of good food. She took a huge bite of chicken. Too big of a bite. And she started choking. And her son, she stood up and she was choking, and her son tried to give her the Heimlich, and he couldn't do it. So then Derek ran around, gave the Heimlich, the chicken flew out, and here's the part that gets me, is that she sat back down and started eating again.
What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. Go home. Go home. The woman stayed and finished her meal and then said thank you to Derek walking out. Like he didn't, he was like, and so he said, is she saying thank you for saving my life? Thank you for the meal, a combo of both. Yeah. I just.
But the food is great here.
The food is great. The food is great. And we have well-trained managers if you want to eat a gavone.
I think we should get everyone trained on the Heimlich.
Yes.
And we need defibrillators.
Yes. So
defibrillators. Defibrillators.
Yes. So several years ago at one of our parties, so in our cabinet, we've had it hung for years, the Heimlich. And so a couple of our friends had a couple drinks in them. They walk over, and I don't know why, they start going through our cabinets, and because that's the kind of friends we have. And they're going through all of our cabinets. And first they came across your drawer that you had binoculars in it.
Oh, yeah.
Gloves. And
binoculars, gloves, and a knife.
And a knife. And they're like, is Vinnie a serial killer?
That's so funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then they open the other cabinet that has the Heimlich, and they're going, Piggy, so what do you do? Like, come here. You're choking. Come here. I got to read this. Why I'm doing it. But
That's
yeah,
so funny.
I have it hung in our cabinet. Just
That's very
God forbid. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I got for you.
I have something.
What?
It's off topic.
Oh, jeez.
And it involves an employee.
Who?
And a straightening out of said employee's actions.
Which employee?
Peter and his bagel party.
Oh, the bagel party. I've heard quite extensively about the bagel party.
This is.
I come in the back at 7:45.
Okay,
busy.
I'm going to hear your version, then I want to hear his version.
Oh, let's hear his version first.
Okay, go ahead, Peter.
Here's what I'm actually very glad this is finally being addressed. This has been lingering over me for weeks. I've been so disappointed.
It should linger.
All right,
Well,
don't interrupt. Let's hear what he says.
I've been so disappointed about the way this has been construed. Here's what happened.
Oh, he's disappointed in you.
This is a completely, well, it's not, I'm not disappointed in Vinny. I'm just disappointed in the way universe is so cruel sometimes. I've been a lot more involved in the club recently, obviously. I've been a lot more FaceTime with the two of you.
Yeah.
Your opinion of me matters more than ever. And so one day recently, I came in, I think it was 2 weeks ago, a random like Friday shift. I thought, well, I'm a senior server now. What am I going to do?
Have a bagel party.
I'm going to step up for the team and get everybody something to eat later on in the shift. So I picked up a baker's dozen bagels. There were about 5 of us on tonight. I figured 2 for everybody. It got a little bit later in the shift. It was just
7:45.
It was about when I think Jamie Lisa was here and he just got on stage. And I had the side section, the whole thing. So basically double section I was running.
Right.
And it got to a point where I had a big table, about 15 people, I believe. And part of their package included a cake. So they had asked me, hey, can you bring over the cake with candles in it pre-show so we could do a little song? And then after, when the show begins, can we all have a slice of plated cake? I said, absolutely. So I brought it over, and I wish you were there for that. It was a beautiful moment. I got the whole crowd. It was a Rudy moment, the entire Stress Factory.
Can I just interrupt?
Yes.
I love how, now, what do I say about Peter all the time?
You love Peter.
Love Peter. Now, here's what Peter's doing, all right? Peter, this is like a husband that comes home, and he got caught cheating on his wife. And he's like, But look at the car you have, honey. Look at the diamond ring you have, honey.
Let's keep going.
Well, just a matter of fact, I got the entire crowd to sing this young girl on her 21st birthday a happy birthday. Then we brought the cake in the back, put it to the side, waited for the show to begin. I'd caught up on all my drink orders, so I was like, okay, I have about 10 minutes that I could go in the back, cut this cake up, and run it outside. I walk in the back, and I noticed, just blindly, that the bagels had been pretty much untouched. So I walked into the kitchen, and there was also a lull in food. So I mentioned to Lazaro, our excellent chef at the Stress Factory, have you had a bagel yet? And Lazaro walks down the steps and starts looking through the bagels as I open up this cake and like dig the knife into it. And just as I turn, Vinny walks in, and it looks to the naked, blind, untrained eye, as if we were all crouched around these bagels, lurching, about to,
Yeah,
to dig in like gavones.
Right.
And the truth of the matter was, there were two different things going on. Laz was approaching the bagels, which I insisted he ate, and I was digging into this cake. So it looked as if we were doing a bagel party. But the truth of the matter is different than the appearance.
So maybe this is one of those times, sweetheart, that you take a beat.
Are you just bought that story?
Yes.
Hold on a second. You need to see the.
Uh-huh.
You want me to go down and do a breakdown
Yes.
of all the flaws?
No, just
Let
because.
me break down the flaws when you're done. Go ahead.
No, because I think that was very admirable that Peter brought bagels for the whole staff. That's really sweet.
Thank you so
And
much,
that is
Vicki.
really, really nice. Like that is a nice camaraderie
It's
moment.
a great thing.
Bringing
I
everybody.
care about the
in.
team
You know
first.
what?
Yes.
It's very nice. I'm gonna tell you, it's very nice.
And then sometimes now, sweetheart, you know I love you more than anything.
I'm questioning that right now.
Well, you should. And sometimes, before you have all the information, words are flying out. Like that.
I had all the information.
No, you didn't.
He just confirmed I did.
No.
Yeah, he just confirmed.
Vinny, I'm the same way. I'm a quick reacting guy. I see something, I yell, and then later on I find out, my God, I was completely in the wrong. I
Yes,
made
but
a
Peter,
terrible error.
that particular part of the story didn't happen. I just found out. I'm 100% right now. Watch me break this down.
Please.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how you
Now,
spin this.
Oh my God, it's so simple. All right, so Peter, it's so nice that you bought bagels for everybody.
Thank
Super sweet. Now, before you decided to have the bagel party, did you say to Laz, are you all caught up on the line?
Yes. They
No,
were,
no. You just said,
Well,
I said to Laz, did you have your bagel yet?
No,
I
he said there was.
a lull.
He said there was a lull in food.
It
There was
was
no food.
7:45.
Yes.
The show
Tickets
starts
on
at
the
7.
expediter.
Wait, I heard you without interruption.
But I will say with the Jamie Lissau shows,
Oh my God, stop making excuses.
no,
Hear me
they
out
all came earlier and they ordered earlier. It was a different crowd.
first.
Go
You know,
on.
you know what you do. Here's what you do. All right, you're such a nice person. And you know that Peter could easily quit, but a divorce would be costly. So I'm here to stay, and you don't want to burn Peter.
No, that's
No.
not it. Sometimes I just want to broaden your horizon.
My horizons are broad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now.
Narrow horizon.
Now my
Yeah.
horizons are broad.
Very
Let me
narrow.
tell you what you're lucky.
Yeah, that
You're
he didn't
lucky
cane you.
I didn't have a cane in my
Yeah.
hand.
Yes.
So I was just whacked on this. Now, everything, I love Peter. Peter's a senior server. He's a ringer. He sells well. The customers love him. It's all upside. He talks too much in the room. He talks too much. He talks nonstop. And he's loud. You hear him? He's loud. He has that microphone. I'm like, what are you doing with the microphone? You need the opposite of a microphone. You need something to calm down that voice. It's booming. Now,
Hey, you of all people saying someone else is loud
it's
and
not,
a talker.
It's not Peter's Stress Factory Comedy Club. It's not. Now, if Peter had gone and said to the servers, hey, when's the last time you had your tables? Lazarus, you completely caught up. Everybody's 100%. Everything's copacetic. And then go to a manager and say, hey, do you mind? I bought bagels for everyone. Can we break out the bagels? That's the right procedure. And let me tell you why. Because while Peter's intentions are gold, and he did a nice thing, he didn't follow what we want. So now let's just say another server, I'll use Noah because he's not a real server, he's not a server, but let's just say Noah said, you know what I did? I went out and I bought a bottle of tequila. I'm getting ready to shot. Hey, everybody, let's all have some shots.
But I think that you have a jumping off point, babe.
No.
I do. I think there's a huge difference between
You
tequila
must-
and
Okay, Peter,
bagels.
Don't you think? Okay,
And I also think you also said it was
Okay,
a bagel
okay,
party to me.
all right. What do you think?
It was Peter and Laz.
Okay.
I'm going to
what-
cancel the tequila
what
party
would-
for this
Yeah.
week.
Yes.
What would Coach Schiano say if in the middle of the third quarter, Peter was on the sideline going, who's got their bagels? Anybody? He would go ballistic. We're in the middle of a game, Peter. It's so nice, Peter, that you brought the team bagels. But if you could do me a favor and stay in your lane right now and do your job right now. Now, would you say that that's accurate, that you could have checked more thoroughly to make sure that it was okay with a manager
Oh, I thought there was more. Yes, that I could have done. I could have gone in the chain of command. However, every other box was checked. I will point out there were no other servers back there because everyone else was busy. And if there was any
There were
tickets
two
on
other
the
servers back there.
no, not with me.
It was you, Lazaro, and a server by the freezer for sure, and one by the microwave.
Out of my purview, though, they weren't involved in my making sure.
Yeah, because you're
Lazarus
so
fed.
wrapped up in your bagel party.
There
Who
was-
wants who wants turkey on theirs? I got boar's head. I love you. But I also say that what's been frustrating me, and you know this is true, we love the staff, right? We always say
I love the staff.
But while we love the staff, there has been a loosening of the iron fist that I'd like to hold around their throats. And I want them to follow the proper protocol, the procedure, right?
Mhm.
So if you bring in bagels again, it's simple. Patty, I think, was managing at night, right? Hey, Patty, if everyone's caught up, do you mind if I have a bagel party in the back? I got the little things that go out. They can do all that if you follow the right. Now, you know me. I walk in, I see certain people, and he's very, very, very rarely not on point. He talks too much. So I'm very honest about that. And I've told him, right? And he sucks Alec in. And Alec even said to me,
Oh, I suck Alec in. He is the chief operator of mischief. He's the chief of propaganda. He's Loki. He's the
I do
Riddler.
agree. He's got a little bit of a, who's that guy from Leave It to Beaver, the next door neighbor?
Oh,
Wally.
No. Wally's the kid. Eddie Haskell.
He's got a little Eddie Haskell in him. Got a little Eddie Haskell in him. So anyway, but the point is that frequently I will see lesser qualified or lesser performing servers. And so the other issue is that Peter must be a guidepost, a North Star for them to follow. Not some bullshit shooting star went through the sky. Isn't that pretty? I gave me a bagel. You need to be the North Star. I can set my course to that star. Not some fancy whip through the night, make a wish. I need Peter to be the North Star.
Right, I hear you.
I am the North Star.
Oh, jeez, Louise. You're an exhausting North Star. Exhausting.
I do love you. I think the world of you.
You're burning my star out.
I love it. And it's if today we got sound in this podcast, I'm gonna love Noah too.
All right. All right.
Fingers
Well.
crossed.
All right, that's it.
All right, that's it.
That was a
All
long
right.
one.
Yes. So I've got to go. I have to go pick our child up from school. So
If that child's late, whack her on the ass.
all right.